International Yoga Day is celebrated in the world every year. It is a gift that India has given to the world. Many foreigners came to India in order to learn that yoga, and some scholars even went abroad to propagate it. However, today, the practices done in the name of yoga aren't accurate at all. The fundamental reason for this is the fact that a human being can't teach yoga to another human being. The one who has gained accomplishment in yoga, the one who is called Yogeshwar in the scriptures, the one whose idols and pictures are always shown absorbed in meditation and in an incorporeal stage, the one whose eyes are always shown half open and lost in meditation, the one with whose name the ancient Rajyog of India is recognized, only he can give the correct definition of yoga. It is said in the 29th shloka of the 4th chapter of the Gita. To hold, take or control the physical breath is related to the good and bad thoughts within us. Oxygen symbolizes good thoughts and carbon dioxide symbolizes bad thoughts of remorse, which we must renounce. To generate bad thoughts is to release negative energy, and to generate good thoughts is to absorb positivity. In reality, only the one who controls both is a yogi. It has been mentioned in the 2nd shloka of the 6th chapter of the Gita itself. Nahi asanyas sankalpo yogi bhavti kashchan. It means, the one who hasn't completely renounced all his thoughts isn't a yogi. But people have derived a wrong meaning out of it. They practice kumbhak, that is hold their breath, and sit in a nil state for hours together. Actually, through the knowledge of the Gita, God taught Arjun to control the mind. He didn't teach him any physical exercise. It has been mentioned in the 35th shloka of the 6th chapter of the Gita. Asan Shayam Mahabahu Mano Durni Graham Chalam. It means, Mahabahu, no doubt, the fast and fickle mind can be brought under control through disinterest and the practice of yoga. It is then that we can achieve the willpower, which works not only for one birth, but for many births. Living examples of this willpower are available in history as well. A soldier like Babur became an emperor in just one birth through willpower. An ordinary boy like Vishnugupta became an extraordinary scholar like Acharya Chanakya. Akbar, who conquered whole India, couldn't conquer Maharana Pratap. Not just men, there have been many brave women as well. Today, this greatest power, the willpower, is reducing. And the proof of this is the fact that people today can't even lift the sword with which Maharana Pratap fought battles 500 years ago. Today no one's mind is under control. This is why people are made to practice yoga with their eyes closed in all the yogic procedures that are being taught nowadays. However, God didn't give the knowledge of practicing yoga with the eyes closed. In the 13th shloka of the 6th chapter of the Gita, a word has been mentioned, sampreksha, meaning, you must have yoga with your eyes fully open, like Meera used to remember Krishna. Her eyes were open and she remembered him through her intellect. The time, the place, the environment, etc. is predetermined to learn the various kinds of yoga taught in our country and abroad. But there aren't any barriers in learning the original yoga. If we remember God while performing every action, we develop perfection in what we do. For this, it has been said in the 50th shloka of the 2nd chapter of the Gita, Yoga Karmsu Kaushlam. In the 2nd shloka of the 5th chapter of the Gita, Karma Yoga has been said to be especially better than Karma Sannyas, Tayostu Karma Sannyasat, Karma Yogo Vishishyate. It means, it is especially better to remember God while performing actions rather than renouncing actions completely. But sages and saints taught people to renounce the very actions to attain God. They started teaching agonizing physical penance, that is degraded penance that hurts and brings pain to the soul and the body. They certainly couldn't attain God through it, but they started claiming themselves to be God. However, to have the remembrance of God, the accurate recognition of God is required, and no human being can provide it. It has been said in the 15th shloka of the 10th chapter of the Gita itself, Swayamev Atmanatmanam Vedhatvam Purushottam. It means God Himself gives His introduction. In the scriptures, God has been mentioned in two forms, Nirgun and Sagun. Nirgun means the incorporeal one, the one who is achintya, meaning the one who can't be thought about. It has been said in the 5th shloka of the 12th chapter of the Gita, Klesho adhik taras tesham, avyakta sak chet sam, avyakta hi gatir dukham, deh vadbhirva pete. It means the yogis who have attachment for the subtle incorporeal one face more difficulty because sorrow is certain in attaining the incorporeal stage. This is why the incorporeal Shiv takes the support of a corporeal body. It is said in the 6th shloka of the 4th chapter of the Gita itself, Prakritim swam dhisthai, sambhavami atmamayaya. It means, I come after taking control over my body like nature. When the incorporeal God enters the corporeal body, the incorporeal one who all the religious fathers accept, it is then that all kinds of relationships can be formed with Him. In the Gita, it has been mentioned in the 11th shloka of the 12th chapter, Madhyogam Ashrita. It means, take the shelter of all kinds of relationships with me. Only the Shivling is such an idol, in front of which people go and say, Tvamev Mata, Cha Pita Tvamev, Tvamev Bandhu, Cha Sakha Tvamev, Tvamev Vidya, Dravinam Tvamev, Tvamev Sarvam, Mam Dev Dev. The Shivling isn't a representation of the incorporeal one, but the one in whom Shiva enters. He himself makes spiritual effort and becomes incorporeal. Among all the bodily beings, it is he who becomes Purushottam. It is said in the Gita itself, among thousands of human beings, it is only one who makes effort for accomplishment. He makes effort and becomes equal to God Shiv himself. This is why it is said Shiv Shankar, and the memorial, the worship-worthy idol is called the Shivling. This is why, in the 4th shloka of the 9th chapter of the Gita, the Shivling has also been called Avyakta Murti, unmanifest personality. These are symbolic representations. In reality, there isn't such a person who wears snakes. It is about the Purushottam confluence age, the age in which God comes. It is about the end of the Iron Age and the beginning of the Golden Age. The characteristics of God in the Purushottam confluence age themselves are shown as idols in temples and mentioned as stories in the scriptures, but the people of the world think that these symbolic representations themselves are real, whereas it has been mentioned in the 11th shloka of the 9th chapter of the Gita, Manushim Tanumashritam. It means God comes only in an ordinary human body and gives the true knowledge. Many human beings have also given knowledge, but only God gives the knowledge of Rajyog. The perfect definition of the ancient easy Rajyog of India has been mentioned in the 2nd shloka of the 9th chapter of the Gita. Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam, Pratyaksha Vagmam Dharmem, Susukham Kartum Avyam. It is the royal knowledge of the kings, the topmost secret of kingship. It is extremely pure. It is the most elevated knowledge. Kings have ruled their kingdoms with this very power of Rajyog. It is with this very power that the queens have protected their purity. They have even defeated great warriors on the basis of the power of purity. But, as this power of yoga diminished, democracy replaced monarchy. India, which was considered as the golden sparrow, has now become insolvent. Women aren't capable of protecting their purity. Women who were once strong have become weak today. Nevertheless, it has been written in the 40th shloka of the second chapter of the Gita, Swalpam appesya dharmasya, trayate mahato bhayat. It means, even a little practice of remembering the soul protects us from great fear. This is the very time of the Purushottam confluence age, when we can feel the power of Raj Yoga in our soul through true knowledge and accurate yoga. It is also written in the 22nd shloka of the second chapter of the Gita, Vasansi jirnani yatha vihai, navani grihnati naruparani, tatha sharirani vihai jirnani, anyani sayati navani dehi. It is because, in reality, we aren't a body, but a soul. This body is perishable like the clothes we wear. In fact, the soul is imperishable forever.
पंचभूतों की बनी ये देह केवल वस्त्र है, आत्मा का जो वास्तविक है घर कहीं अन्यत्र है.
It resides in the middle of the eyebrows. This is why it is written in the 10th shloka of the 8th chapter of the Gita, Bhruvor madhe pranam aveshya samyak. It means we have to stabilize the life-like soul in the middle of the eyebrows and remember the incorporeal light, Shiva, who has come in a corporeal form. It is because the combination of both, Nirgun and Sagun itself, is the original form of God. He has been called Baba in the scriptures. It is only after knowing his practical form and through his unadulterated remembrance that we develop the power of Raj Yoga in us. It is because we can make no attainments by remembering the symbolic representations. Practical proofs of his identification are also present. He has been mentioned in the scriptures as well. In the end of the ironage, he takes on the Kalankidhar form and brings about the destruction of the ironage. Adidev, Adam, Adinath has been mentioned in the other religions as the creator of the world. Many astrologers have made prophecies about him. Michel de Nostradamus. Year 1555, century 10, verse 96. That great man will be born in such a country which is surrounded by water from three sides. The famous astrologer Florence of New Jersey, America, wrote in her book, Golden Light of New Era. To awaken divinity in humans and to make the earth like heaven, a divine person is working day in and day out. He is an ardent effort-making saint in a sacred place of North India, who, being engrossed in constant devotion, is spreading divine spiritual light. There are many religious places in Uttar Pradesh, but Kapil Nagari, founded by sage Kapil, is the only pilgrimage place for which it is said, Kapila Sadrisham Teerth Nasti Bhumandale Kvichit. It means there isn't any other pilgrimage place in the world like Kapil, because it is from Kapil that the gist of all the scriptures and the teachings of easy Raj Yoga are being spread with the help of the Shrimad Bhagavad Gita by God himself. This is why Kapil is also the center of spirituality. For more information, contact Adhyatmik Vishwavidyalay, Block A, 351-352, Vijay Vihar, Phase 1, Rithala, Delhi, 110085. Mobile number 9891370007, 9311161007. Email a11spiritual1@gmail.com. YouTube AIVV. Website pbks.info. adhyatmik-vidyalay.com.